Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you hear me speaking a little low, it's because I'm in my bathroom right now, as you can probably tell. And if you're not new, okay. Hi, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, if you are new here or you just haven't done so already, remember to subscribe, turn on post notifications so that you can see whenever the hell I post, because God knows when that's gonna be at this point, because school will be stressful and wants to take all my time away from me. That and my chihuahua and boyfriend. They just want to take all my time away from me, and that's just something that occurs in my lifetime that we are just gonna have to be okay with. So yeah, and also remember to like this video if you also dislike Ted Cruz or just hate him, because we have moved past Ted Cruz. If you're not new here, welcome back. You may recognize this as it is in another one of my videos from a couple of months ago, from December, in which I just filmed a video of me talking about nonsense for 20 minutes straight without editing any of it, and posted it onto YouTube like that, where I did my skincare and hair care. Now, my hair isn't wet, I washed it yesterday, so we are just gonna have to move on. I am so sorry if you feel betrayed, but we are gonna do my skincare routine, because I feel like that's what we need in the universe right now. I feel like we need our skincare routine to relax from all the nonsense that is going on in states such as Texas. And I know there are many other issues going on in other states, such as states where Asian American hate crimes have been going on and increasing. I have a petition down below for that, just in case. It's the first petition on that list. Also, if you hear me doing that, I do it a lot because I get out of breath. And there's also Jackson, Mississippi, where there has been no running water for about a week. There are a lot of state issues going on, but today's video isn't the one that we're going to be talking about that in. We are going to be talking about Ted Cruz, because I did a poll on Instagram. If you ever want to do one of my beautiful polls, right now we have a continuous series of me asking if you have loved yourself today, and I really do hope you have. I hope you have loved yourself, because you are deserving of self-love. Also breathe. Breathe and love yourself. I feel like that's what we need in this world. But I also occasionally post question boxes or polls asking what content you want to see from me next. So if you ever want to participate in any one of those, remember to follow me on Instagram. It's the same as all of my handles, at Jessie's a Cutie, so you can go and check that out. So in today's video, we are going to be talking about Ted Cruz, because out of all the people who follow me, only a small percentage of them. Also, before you do your skincare, please wash your hands. A small percentage of the people who follow me are the people who interact with my polls. Are a small percentage of the people who view my stories. And within that small percentage is an even smaller percentage of people who interact with my polls. And by that I mean 5 people told me that I should scream about Ted Cruz in a video. And that is exactly what I'm going to do, because you all have enabled me to talk about Ted Cruz. So, who is Ted Cruz, if you do not know who this disgusting vile man is? Ted Cruz is a Texas senator. I believe he tried to run for president back in like 2016, but that didn't work out. I don't know, I always get Ted Cruz and Marco Rubio confused for some reason. I don't know, probably because they both suck, but that's another story for another day. They also have Hispanic / Latinx last names, which, like I said in my Hispanic heritage video, all these terrible people who have like Hispanic last names, I am going to be stripping you of them So for all intents and purposes, Ted Cruz is now Ted Smith, because I don't want my people and my culture to associate with these people. Whether or not he's Hispanic, I don't care. You see Cruz and you're automatically gonna think, Latino, but no. I mean, he probably is. I don't know. I haven't Googled into this man. I'm pretty sure he's American, though. I don't know. And I could care less. Great, now I have a new pimple coming in. I'm going to name that Ted Cruz. Okay. So, now you have the basics down. He's a Texas senator. That's all really you need to know of his background. So, where does my hatred of Ted Cruz come from? Well, there are two instances, because these are the only two instances that I like heavily focus on and I heavily note of, and that is the insurrection on January 6th and his flight to Cancun, which I believe happened February 18th, which upsets me because that's my birthday. So Ted Cruz, you're stealing the spotlight away from me, and I don't appreciate that in the slightest. Alright, so anyways, I can't believe this video has only been going on for 6 minutes. Wow. Also, if you don't like this style of video, just like tell me down below. I won't be offended, except for maybe I will. Who knows? But anyways, so let's go in chronological order. Let's talk about Ted Cruz with the insurrection. Now, I should have probably said this beforehand. But Ted Cruz is a Republican, and he continuously perpetuated the actual myth. Okay, wait. This video is all over the place. But before I continue on with this, I know a lot of people who watch my videos know for a damn fact that I'm liberal. Exactly. Exactly. So this isn't a thing of like, I hate him because of his policies. I hate him because he's stupid. Like, that's the issue that's going on here. I hate him because he sucks. Okay? Just the same as I hate any other politician who sucks. Like, I don't care whether you're Democrat, Republican, liberal, conservative. I don't care who you are. If you suck, you suck. That's the matter of the fact. If you suck, you suck, and you're just gonna have to live with that. Okay, so don't like come into my comment section with all this like political nonsense, like, oh my god, you just hate him because you're a liberal. No, I hate him because he sucks. He actually sucks on all fronts, and I'm gonna explain it, right? But I just wanted to say that before some like lame Republican hype house teenager comes into my comments and is like, oh my god, you just hate him because he's Republican. No, I hate him because he actually sucks ass. And not the good kind. And not the good kind. So, speaking on the insurrection, the coup, whatever you want to call it, the Congression of Stupid, the Congression of Stupid that happened on January 6th. And if you don't remember that, it was basically this Congression of stupid Trump supporters storming the Capitol for funsies. So the reason that these people stormed the Capitol, their reasoning for it was that the election was stolen from them. The 2020 election was stolen from them, even though there are actually no physical, tangible proof that this election was rigged in any sort of way. You were just gonna have to look at the facts, sweetie. Like at some point, you were just gonna have to look at the facts. And on Wednesday, January 6th, around like 2 p.m., these losers with no jobs or hobbies stormed the Capitol because of that. I mean, we had known about it. because there were a lot of people, such as Trump himself, our former president, Ted Cruz, Josh Hawley, all these losers were speaking up about something that was going to happen on January 6th. Honestly, I'm disappointed in the FBI because all the proof was there, so I don't know how this was allowed to continue. But I mean, this is honestly just like the case of like Nicholas Cruz, who I'm also going to strip of his Latinx last name, with the thing he did. I don't want to name it, but the thing he did, yeah, that bad thing that he did, that was honestly avoidable, and no one did anything, and they just continuously allowed for it to perpetuate until it got to the stage that it got. And that's what Ted Cruz did. He continued to push the myth that the election was fraudulent, and these people stormed the Capitol because of it. Because if you're constantly hearing that, oh, the election was rigged, the election was rigged, the election was rigged, the election, at some point, you are going to believe it. And that's what these people are going off of. If we continuously tell these people, even though there is absolutely no evidence that the election was rigged, then they are just going to continue thinking the election was rigged, and then they did the thing that they did. See, my thing is with Ted Cruz is that there is absolutely no accountability on like his side whatsoever. Right? So here's my thing, right? And I did a whole chart on this. I don't have pictures, plus this video isn't even going to be edited, so what does it really matter if I have pictures or not? But see, here's my thing, is that there are two ways you can look at this. There's either the thing of like, he ignored the facts, right? Like he saw that there were facts, and he ignored him. He was like, no, those don't suit my agenda, so I'm not gonna look at them, right? Like, I read this article, it doesn't suit my agenda, not gonna do it. Or, he didn't look deeper, he didn't dive in deeper enough, and I mean, it takes like 2 Google searches to figure out whether the election was rigged or not. You could literally look up election fraud 2020, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be a bunch of articles from the Secretary of State's saying that there was no election fraud, specifically Georgia, because they recounted like 3 times, which is absurd to me, but we move on as a society. Obviously, there's going to be the companies who, you know, gave the machinery to do that. So there's just a lot of evidence from every single angle that there was no election fraud, and he didn't do his due diligence to his people to go after that and seek that. But regardless of whichever way you want to look at it, whether he just ignored the facts or neglected to look into facts, it still looks terrible on him, because at the end of the day, he just doesn't care about facts. He doesn't care about factual items, which obviously can hurt his people, and we can get into that in the next one, in the chirp he took. So he ignores the facts instead of, you know, looking into them and protecting his people. And 2, he's just looking after his political agenda. He doesn't care about his people in Texas. He doesn't care about the citizens of the United States. He just wants to fuel his side. And if his side is saying there is election fraud, then he is going to go after that without having the second thought of the people I am governing over. Because, I mean, yes, he's the senator of Texas, but he's still important to the whole of the country. He doesn't just make decisions for Texas. He has the ability to make decisions for the whole country. Right? So there's that whole thing, and that was the first thing to get me really upset, because it's like, Texas, you deserve better. I know people elected him into this position that he currently has, but the people of Texas deserve better, because they do not deserve someone who is going to either willingly ignore the facts or just be negligent on the facts and they don't deserve someone who is going to put their political party's agenda before them. Right? So there's that whole thing. Then the second thing is this trip to Cancun. There is so much nuance with this topic, but I mean, first of all, going to somewhere else besides your home in the middle of a global pandemic doesn't seem great. It doesn't seem like the best solution. That's one, just flat out the gate, you don't care or respect about people's lives, which we got into in the previous topic. See how it all connects into he doesn't care, and he sucks. See how that all connects? Yeah, I'm so glad you see it. Right, so he's negligent of the fact that he could be spreading the virus. 2, blaming it on your small children, because aren't his daughters like 10 and 12? I mean, whether they were like 50 and 80, I don't care. Blaming it on your children that you took a trip just seems, again, like, it just seems like worst father of the year energy. Because if you're like, oh, you know, my daughters wanted to go on the trip and like, how could I say no? By saying no, like, what are you, Hamilton? Who do you think you are? What do you think this is? The musical Hamilton? An American musical in the, would it be the climax? My beautiful theater friends, tell me if the climax would be say no to this. Please tell me. Please don't tell our teacher. Just please tell me down below. It'll be our little secret is say no to this, the climax of Hamilton the musical. Hamilton, an American musical. Okay, wait, but what do you think this is? What do you think this is? Are we gonna get like a parody of it, of like Ted Cruz and his children being like, oh, you know, Dad, can we go to Cancun? And he's like, oh Lord, how can I say no to this side? Don't say no to this side. Like, what do you think this is, homie? What do you think this is? Also, my friend texted me, so I don't know how long we're going on, so if this video turns out to be an hour long, you know what? Fuck it. I don't care. I don't care. And I said a bad word. There we go. I'm 18, so I'm gonna curse. I'm kidding. But like, you already seem like a negligent person based on what I said about the elections, but if you just look at this incident solely, you seem like a negligent person for flying during a global Paula Abdeen. Is her name Paula Abdeen? I hope so. I hope no one roasts me in the comments because of that. Although you might roast me in the comments for being like, say no to this is the climax of Hamilton. You know, at this point, I'm used to it. But you also look like a negligent father for not saying no to your children to go to Cancun during a global Panera Bread. Like, that doesn't make much sense to me. That doesn't make much sense to me because I, as an 18-year-old with no children, can say if I was in a global pandemic again for like, what, the 5th time? And my kids were like, hey, can we go on a trip? I'm gonna be like, no, sorry, sweetie, we can't go on a trip. We don't need to kill people. That's just that on that, right? But I haven't even stated the elephant in the room. He went on this trip. Meanwhile, the people in Texas were dying of extreme weather. And that's that on that. I don't think I can elaborate that point further. That's just you leaving your people to die for funsies. And again, all 3 of those just come into he's negligent. Whether it's of the facts of his social standing, of being a parental figure, he's negligent on all of that. Also, the fact that he started blaming the Green New Deal, a thing that doesn't even exist, right? I'm pretty sure he started blaming the Green New Deal on all of this, and the Green New Deal didn't even exist. Like, it hasn't been a plan yet. Is really weird to me, because like the Green New Deal, if it were to have been passed, could have probably prevented this. Because the reason that there was heavy snowfall in a state like Texas that's near the equator, and I mean, I live in Florida, so we're both near the equator. We both have like similar weather from what I think. I don't know. I've never been to Texas. The only states I've been to are Oregon and... Actually, no, wait. Because on my trip to Oregon, I think we made a stop in Texas. Yeah, so like going from Florida to Oregon, I think we made a stop in Texas. And then coming back, we made a stop in North Carolina. Which I didn't like, because at that point, it was when North Carolina did that whole like law where trans people had to use the bathroom of the gender that they were assigned at birth. So I didn't like being in North Carolina at all, but that's just me and my liberalness. Like, what the hell do I know? But anyways, so you know, there's the whole accumulation of all of that, and again with the whole Green New Deal thing, like that could help end it. That could help end, well, not really end, but like put in place things where this possibly won't happen again, and if it does happen again, we can be better equipped for it, right? So that's that on that. I don't think I'm missing anything on that, because I have, again, this whole like monologue on it. I think you could probably tell by now. But also, another thing that rubbed me off the wrong way. Oh, there's another point that I thought of, but we'll get back to that one in a minute before I forget this one. Another thing that rubbed me off the wrong way was that when he was getting called out for it, obviously, like, I don't know why this man was so dumb to, like, not go on a private jet. Like, do you not have one? But, like, why didn't you just go on a private jet or a private airline? Like, why did you think flying commercial would be the way to go when literally half of the country hates you? Like, that don't make much sense to me. And I mean, even if the people, like, unanimously, if all the people on that flight loved him, they could probably like snap pictures of him too and be like, oh my god, my king, Ted Cruz is on the flight with me. And then people would call you out. So whether people loved you or hated you on that flight, your picture would have been snapped just the same. Probably with a different, you know, context. You know, if someone hates you or dislikes you, they're gonna be like, oh my god, look at this loser Ted Cruz on a plane. Meanwhile, people in Texas are dying. Gross. And, you know, if people like him, again, that whole monologue of like, oh my god, my king Ted Cruz, I love you, please suck my pee-pee. Like, you understand. You understand, right? So, like, I forgot what my point was. Oh, right. So he went on the plane, and then he came back after he got a bunch of backlash for it, and people realized that it was actually his wife who wanted the trip, and then they abandoned their poor dog. I don't know what the dog did to you, but whatever. He basically just went back to Texas and like started distributing water and stuff, and like, hey, listen, great, I'm so glad you're doing charity work for your people, but this just feels gross to me as well, because you literally left them for dead like barely 24 hours ago, and now you're back and you're like, hey guys, so here's some water, please accept me back into your society, thanks. Like, it doesn't make much sense to me. It doesn't make much mathematical sense to me. And I mean, I had AP stats, not to flex, but I was in AP stats, so I think that says that I am pretty good at mathematics, and the math ain't mathing like it should be. Like, yes, I know I need a calculator for like basic mathematics, but the math ain't mathing like I feel like it should be. And going back to the whole Cancun trip, I'm sorry if this is like super rambly. Then again, I don't even think like half of you get to this point. Although you guys are starting to get my watch time up, which I love. You probably may have clicked out by now, but whatever, we're gonna move on as a society. If you're still here, I love you. Also, my hands are wet. It's because I'm touching the faucet right now. You can't really see it because I got a better angle for my phone. But with the whole Cancun trip, like, aren't you the same dude who was backing up? The same dude who was like, Mexicans are bad? Why are you going to Mexico then? Like, again, it just shows how negligent he is, because he's backing up the dude who's like, Mexicans are bad. And if you truly believe that Mexicans are bad, I'm not saying the full quote here because like, I don't want Susan to be too mad at me. But y'all know what I mean. Y'all know what I mean. Y'all know what I mean. But if you truly believe that Mexicans are bad and you're perpetuating that by associating with someone who says that on a regular basis, right? How are you going into that country that you say that the people in are bad? Like, see, that's not mathematically correct. You know, that's like me saying Jeffrey Epstein sucks, which he does. He does and he did and he still does. And me going over to his island, like, that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. You get me? You get me? Like, if I'm gonna say someone is bad or people who live in a certain area are bad, then why am I going to willingly go over there? Do you get me? Like, that's just my thing. Also, leave Mexicans alone. I'm saying this on behalf of Mexicans. If you don't like that, cool. Completely understand. I'm Cuban, so I kind of get it, because people also go to like Cuba, they go to like Varadero and stuff, and they're like, oh my god, this is so great, I love this weather. Yeah. And then like they come to the US and still be bigots. I don't understand what's going on. I say this on behalf of Mexicans. Leave Mexico alone. Leave Mexico alone. If you're not going to willingly try to just help us not be like killed, that's how I'm gonna say it, because hate crimes have gone up for Latinx/Hispanic people all over the country since our former president took presidency. So just leave Cancun alone, especially during a global pandemic, especially when your people are dying. And I feel like this is when I'm gonna wrap up the video. I feel like I made the connections where they are. In conclusion, Ted Cruz just sucks as a human, and we as a society, Texas, really, I want you to come together and be able to vote Greg Abbott and Ted Cruz out. If you guys would want me to make a video about Greg Abbott where we do this whole thing again where I just scream at you for like however long this video is about Greg Abbott and his stupidity, or just other conservatives. Again, this isn't an attack on them because they are conservative. This is an attack on them because of their actions, which most of them are racist. Most of them are racist. Most, if not all, are racist. Right? Excuse me. So if you guys would like for me to make a video on Greg Abbott, Ron DeSantis, Blair White, I would love to make a video on Blair White's beautiful Twitter statement, which, if by beautiful I meant terrible, then yes. If you guys would like a video on all of that, please leave it down below. Also, my theater friends, my theater colleagues, please tell me down below if Say No to This would be the climax of Hamilton, an American musical. I feel so dumb, but I need to know. Please and thank you. Thank you so much. Also, I did my skincare routine. It was just washing my face with this, which is like a benzoyl peroxide wash, which I do every night. I need to start doing every other night. And then I apply my moisturizer, and that's about it because I don't need a high-tech skincare routine, and neither do you. Also, if you're wondering what this is the Neutrogena skin balancing thing. This is the pink one because Hiram said the pink one is good. And I think it's done great for my skin. I feel like if you compare my skin from when I started this channel to now, or when I began to upload consistently on this channel to now, I feel like it looks just a smidge better. But, you know, what does it matter? Acne's normal. So now I'm gonna end this video. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like. If you haven't done so already, subscribe. I would love to have you here. I would love to get 1K subscribers. I feel like that would be really fun and fresh for me. Alright, if you dislike this video, dislike it. Comment down below the things I said to comment down below. Leave me video recommendations. Tell me who you would like me to talk about next, whether it's someone on the list that I described, or just someone else, or just another topic in general. And yeah, I forgot what the hell I was talking about, so just do whatever the hell you need to do. I love you, love yourself, and